Hi guys, it's Mary. Welcome back to another Wasted Again in FritzyVille basket where we talk about stuff I used for an entire month, what I thought about them as I put on a new face of makeup coming in. And if you want to see what went on my face, hear about the things I used for an entire month, then just keep watching. I can't find my Sigma eye primer stick. And I've pretty much been using the MAC paint pot and Painterly because that thing has rolled away. I can't find it. So let's get that on my lids. And I'm just going to keep it in here because I use this on days I'm not even wearing makeup, because you can see it's kind of dark and this makes me look a little bit more awake. I did a video pretty recently, I guess, on Fake Awake, how to do your makeup, make it look like you don't have on makeup, or very much makeup anyway. I wish I could find the stick. I'm hoping it didn't roll into the trash can and I threw it away. It is hot in here, so I'm going to try to hurry everything I do. I'm not going to sit here and... What on earth was that? Anyway, I'm going to try to hurry up and get out of here. These lights, the candle, summer, all of it makes for a really hot time in this chair. So if I find the Sigma stick, it will stay in here. But no, I'll be using this. And let's see, I started using a brush because I was getting a dip, as you can see, in there. So I'm working on the outskirts. So, you know, it's getting some wear and tear in there. Eyeshadow. What was in the box all month was the Tiny Marvels and the Blessed palette. So I had a really good month. These two never let me down. This is my own palette. It's the Fritzy family palette. And, well, here's where we are. Okay. This palette's been dropped like, I don't know, 5 times. Shadows popped out because they're magnetic and, you know, they're getting roughed up quite a bit. But that's where I am with wear and tear on the Blessed palette. Here's where I am on the Tiny Marvels, and you can see Mantis right there in the middle. Of course, that's my favorite shade. Or my favorite green anyway. And I use the two together all month. Like, do a little bit of here, do a little bit of that, mix some things in here with this and stuff. But I'm going to do something pretty bold this month. I normally leave Blessed in here because it's my everyday. It's my palette, all right? So I use it all the time, but I want to put them aside because I know I won't use this. And I just want to know because it's almost time to do a declutter. I am decluttering this whole office space. Thinking about changing some things up in here, and so I want to declutter and make way for a smaller filming studio. Anyway. I don't buy more storage, I get rid of. So I bought this when it first came out, decluttered it because I wasn't using it, then kicked myself in the butt and said, why did you do that? You loved that palette. All right, so then bought it again. See, the brush has never even been used. I've used this maybe 2 times, and it's just sitting in the drawer. I love these colors, so I just want to know, should I declutter this in the next declutter, or do I really still love it? So I'm going to pull this in this month. I'll take my E25 from the GlitzyFritzy Essential Eye Set. Did you know I have a brush set? Yes. And I have an eyeshadow palette. Thank you very much. It's because of you. No other reason for that to happen. I've been doing a lot more minimal eye looks. It has nothing to do with that stupid thing that's going around about how only old ladies wear eyeshadow. Have you seen this? It'll swing back around. There's nothing new under the sun. Eyeshadow will come back around again. Right now, I guess we're more focused on lips and cheeks. But yeah, people who wear eyeshadow must be old ladies. That's what they're saying anyway. That's what the kids are saying. If you've never been here before, this isn't a tutorial. What the purpose of this video is to use the makeup that is already in my collection. I pull out things and I use them for a solid 30 days. And then at the end of the 30 days, I make a decision about what I think about them. Am I going to keep it in this basket and continue on with it because it's almost finished? Am I going to say, I hate this product and there's no hope for it in my life and I'm going to waste it and if I do, it'll be at the end, okay, with the products that I used up. I'm trying to hopefully get some use out of all of this makeup that I purchased. So hence the name of the series is Wasted, again in GlitzyFritzyVille. And I'm going to tell you about the products I used all month and make a decision what's going to happen to them. Are they going back in the drawer? Did I finish it? So in which case it goes to the empties or the trash. And yeah, that's what we do. That's the Naked Wild West. I decluttered that because there was like 2 or 3 shades in it that I was using every day and I wasn't using the rest of them. So I decided I had those same shades in other palettes, so I got rid of it. And that might be the fate for this too. I don't know. It doesn't seem like it's been that long ago. I guess it has been that long ago that we could not wait for Urban Decay to bring out the next Naked palette. And I lost my ever-loving mind over this one because the other two were just kind of, they're Naked palettes, right? They, in the truest sense of the word, they were. But when this one came out, I loved it. To save time, I'm going to finish the eyeshadow and then I'll be back to talk about the other stuff. As far as eyeliners go, this goes with this look very well. This is what I was using all month. This is from a brand called Swede. I really like this. It has a smudger on the end so I can smudge that out. But it reminded me very much of one of my favorite pencils from Urban Decay, which is Alkaline. They're very similar color. I do kind of want to know, after coming off this for 30 days, do I like this better than this? I'm going to go ahead and pull this in. Well, Urban Decay has reigned queen in this colored eyeliner segment for a pretty long time. Well, let's put this in here and we'll see. And I'll just spend a month with Alkaline, which I have said many times is one of my favorite colors from Urban Decay. I think it'll go very well with the Naked 3 palette. But I recommend the Swede line. As you'll see when we get to the mascara, I really like the Swede products that they have out so far, which I do believe is just mascara and eyeliner right now. I'm going to keep my Give Beauty eyeliner in here. This is where I'm at on this now, and the only thing I use this for is to tightline right here. It doesn't matter if I'm wearing eyeshadow or not, I'll do this because I like to make my lash line look thicker. I'm not bringing in a new mascara. Instead, we're focusing on the mascaras I have here, which I will run through very quickly. The oldest ones in here that will probably be leaving next month because they're old is the Lisa Eldridge Kitten Lash. I like this if I'm not wearing eye makeup. It's not a favorite mascara. It does really good, looks pretty on your lashes, but if I have on eyeshadow like today, it doesn't compete with what else is in here. The L'Oreal Panoramic, this is nice, but it doesn't compete with the ones that I keep reaching for over and over. Same with this, it's Tarte Lights Camera Lashes. It's okay. You know, I'm not saying that the 3 of those mascaras I just showed you are bad by any means. They're not, okay? They're just not my favorite. This High Impact from Clinique is a good mascara. I'll reach for it. But the ones in here that I keep grabbing and, you know, going through the thing looking for are these 4. And that is the Cloud by Swede, Pro Lash Lift by Swede. I do like the Cloud better because it has the brush I love. I love this kind of a brush. This one is messy, so you have to be very careful. You can see there's a flat side and little teeth. So it's a good mascara. It's just I tend to get a little sloppy with mascara, and that one is kind of sloppy, but very good. This Jones Road one that I just got from them. They got, by the way, Swede sent me those also. The rest of the mascaras I showed you I purchased. This here was sent to me by Jones Road, and I thought when I opened this I was going to hate it because of this big caterpillar curled bristle wand. It's actually a very good mascara. I like that a lot. And of course my Blink, and this came to me in a FabFitFun box, so I didn't purchase this either, but I have purchased this before. The Blink tubing mascara, which I always reach for if I think I might cry, sweat, I have on sunscreen. Yeah, I love that. But today, I think, since you've not seen me use it on camera, I'm going to use the Swede Pro Lash Lift. And we're gonna hope I don't get super gaumy messy with it. The idea with this mascara is to comb through and then flip it over to the flat side to lift at the base. And then of course you're kind of transferring mascara right at the base of your lashes. Flip it over, take the comb, and come through. Now, you only want to use that mascara for a couple of swipes, because if you don't, what happens is they start glomming together. And that is not a pretty look. A mono lash is meant for Veronica and Betty of the Archies, not Mary. Now, you don't get that if you use this one. So I think I've had a nice mascara month. I haven't got anything in here I hate. I already wasted last month the ones that were just in here and I just didn't want to use them. So I wouldn't buy 2 mascaras that were this expensive to use together. The one that I purchased would be Cloud. I really like using something luminous on the outside of my face and something like La Base on the T-zone. But I have to tell you, I really didn't use it that much because I found something that I liked doing this month, and that was taking a dropper of my Natasha Denona Hygiene with, I mean, it's like, okay, you can put this on and then do your foundation, but for some reason, this really looks good if you mix them together. It looks better than doing it on its own. So when I started doing that, I quit using the La Base. It may as well not been in here. So what I was doing was taking my glass palette and I would put 1 drop of my Hygiene and 1 drop of this Bare Minerals Bare Pro foundation. And it's beautiful. I have no complaints at all. Love it. And I hope when I pull this foundation back out again, I remember how much I loved doing that. So those are going back. I love them. This is going back to, I am bringing my Laura Geller spackle in. I have a motive for doing that because I'm going to bring in her foundation. I plan on using that as a powder, but some days I'll just use these 2 together. The foundation I'm going to bring in is this Fenty. This one here is the new one, and I've never wore it. So I'm thinking, oh gosh, what if I don't like it? And then I'm stuck a whole month with it. So because of that, I am going to bring in the About Face that I reviewed for you guys not that long ago. And I said, I really, really like this stuff. So I'm going to bring this in to use this. But if I don't like it, the backup for it will be the About Face. Today, we are going to use the Fenty. But I'm going to put this on first. This is brand new, by the way. I haven't opened this before. This stuff is very hydrating. And I truly didn't need hydration this morning. On days I wear makeup, I try not to put on a moisturizer because the primer I'm using might be like this, really hydrating. So like I'll be slow in my roll on my moisturizing step in the morning because I'll be wearing this primer and I know it's very hydrating. The correct shade for Fenty is 170 for me. And I think in that video I also said, what happened to it? Here it is. I found it. It was sitting underneath another powder compact in the powder drawer. This should have been in the foundation drawer because this is actually a powder foundation. But I like using the Fenty powder foundation as a powder. So it's coming in as the powder for this. And yes, I know I said this. I'm bringing in both of these and that and the About Face in case I hate this. Hopefully I won't hate this. Let's do it. And I'm also going to spend a month with the new Fenty concealer. I have wore this a few times already. I'm going to tell you about the concealers I have been using in just a second. Unlike those concealers, this concealer I do have to set. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it here and then get my brush real quick. It's very pretty. I like it a lot, but I do have to set it with setting spray or it will crease. The ones that I've been working with this month, I don't have to do that with. So it was kind of a surprise to me that I had to do that. So let me just put that on. And once I get this on, I'll tell you about the ones that I've had in here. And I had 3 because I'm trying to decide. So when I do it end of the year thing, I can tell you, because I've honestly spent time with all of them, which ones I loved. This setting spray that I used all month is by LYS. We'll talk about that in a minute. But I'm taking it on this to set this so that it doesn't crease on me. I think it was Rebecca showed me a video over the weekend about using Aquafina. I guess Scott Barnes has come up with this new thing. And I'm like, that's really not that new. I mean, I remember doing that like before my channel. I was using Vaseline, okay, underneath my eyes, coconut oil underneath my eyes, and then putting my concealer on. And I truthfully can't remember why I stopped doing that, but I guess there's this video out with this beautiful makeup artist named Gabby, and you guys probably already know who this person is, or who all these people are and everything, because you have time to watch YouTube. I don't have time to watch YouTube. So I don't know these people. Apparently she's a big time makeup artist or something. She's very beautiful. And so she demonstrated this technique with, is it Aquaphor chapstick? And yeah, I mean, I would assume that it works the same way as, you know, any really good moisturizer underneath your eyes. I mean, that's what chapstick is a lip moisturizer, correct? So, yeah. I don't know why I just told you all that. Who cares what I think, right? All right. So this is coming in. I think that that looks really good. The ones that I was using and trying to narrow down or see which ones I liked better through the month was these three. It is the Best Skin Ever from Sephora. It's their collection, and this is bomb. I'm just going to tell you, that is bomb. You don't have to set it. Put a little bit there. Beautiful. It looks great. And then I was like, yeah, but do I like it better than I like the Lawless Beauty? This one is called Conceal the Deal. Now, I didn't reach for this one as much because it's a shade lighter, but love it. Love this concealer. When I get it again, I'll probably get it in a shade closer like this, you know, to match. Take this with me, match it, and see, but Conceal the Deal. Beautiful. I love it. Sets down all by itself. I don't have to worry about either one of those two creasing. These are like neck and neck. I love them both. And then the third one was the MAC. The MAC Prolong Wear that I first started my channel out using. Do I still love this that much though? I do like it. I do still like it. But I don't love it anymore. A lot of it is the way it is. If it had a doe foot, it'd probably be a different situation. But when you push on this, it's like way too much comes out, so you're wasting product. It just doesn't give as beautiful a finish as these do anymore. Of the three, this one I don't like them the most, I guess. These two I love the most. Fenty has got some stiff competition in these two this month, so we shall see. But for right now, I'm going to put them up. So let us put this on. I'm going to give it a good shake, and I hope that I love this. I really do, because I can't believe everything I went through with this. I like purchased this online, this foundation, wrong shade. It comes in, it's like alabaster. I'm like, oh no. Go over to the Sephora, and I'm like, I haven't used it, but I need to exchange it. And I did it, right? I did this. I went to the display and grabbed the old foundation in the right shade. Okay, because I looked at the testers. I get home and I do the video and I'm like, this is the old foundation, not the new foundation, drat. And I thought about keeping it and just purchasing this too. But then when I went online, I noticed that it was on sale for $19.40, which meant I went over there and I exchanged a foundation that I paid $40 for one that was $20, so half that. And I went, no. So I went over there, explained it to him. Hopefully, I'm going to love this foundation because I am not taking this back. I do not want to go back over there and go, oh, I did it again. Oops, I did it again. So there we go. Let's put that on. I don't know why I'm doing that. I'm not going to do half and half. I'm just going to put this on with a sponge, and hopefully I'm going to love this. You guys know I love to, after I've done my foundation, take a loose powder and then with my damp sponge, press it into my skin. It makes my pores go away, you know. But this month, I mean, I've had a time with powder the last couple months, I really have. So I got some stuff to tell you. Well, I guess that did not set that concealer all the way because it's creased under here. We'll figure it out. I possibly just used too much of it. I don't know. Anyway, what was I saying? Powder. I have had a couple of months of a bad powder run. This month, I'm probably for the first time ever going to waste a powder, and it's not because it's not a good powder. That powder, while it did very well with some foundations, it didn't do well with the other Fenty foundation. It made it look cakey and dry, and the reason was, I'm sure, because that foundation didn't even need a powder. It was matte, and it looked matte. When I got done, I didn't need to powder it down. And this one here is very hydrating. And you guys, I know a lot of you love this look. I kind of want to look manufactured juicy, right? Not like this. I want to like powder down and then add back in my own juiciness where I want it, right? It's probably what we're going to end up doing here is powdering this down. But I don't know that I want to powder it down with this. What is this? This is that. I'll talk about this more at the end because I'm going to waste it. But basically, the powder that I was using all month had to go into this container, okay, because of the way it was packaged. There's no sifter, so I can't get the right amount. It keeps coming out tacky, so that's going in the wasted, and we'll talk about that at the end. The setting spray that's been in here all month has been the LYS. You can see how much of it I have used. It's kind of more of a thicker. I mean, if you look at this, it's kind of thick, all right? It is and it isn't. I mean, it's got a beautiful sprayer on it. Look at that. That is a very fine mist. This is supposed to be matte, and it's not. It's luminous. So it makes my skin look luminous, and it already looks luminous. So I'm not going to put that on there. In fact, I'm going to put this away for a month. I got a new e.l.f. I like this stuff. I like this Stay All Night Microfine Setting Mist. And it hasn't been opened. Let's twist that off there. I'm going to use that this month instead. It's got a ball bearing in the bottom. And it also has a fine mist, but it can splat, right? I love the smell of this stuff. It really does work. I'm going to set my face down with it a little bit. And I am coming up underneath my eye because that's not set. It's creasing under my eye. We're going to attempt to not use the sponge and loose powder this month. I'm going to use the Fenty with this rephr. I'm going to load that brush up really good. With the rephr number 30. I just want to get some of the tackiness down here with the brush, because I don't want to hard pan. This has been hard panned before, so I don't want to take a sponge into that. If you get your wet sponge and go into it, that's what's going to happen. But I am going to take a velour puff here and add a little more to my T-zone. I think that looks okay. I'm going to take my Laura Mercier. This has been in since the first box. I may have to get a new one of these soon because my lid broke and it's drying out. But I like to use that right there. The bronzer that I was using all month is my Charlotte Tilbury. It's my favorite. You may see that the circle has widened up because all month I was focusing on that side to try and use a little bit more. So hopefully it's even and doesn't just bust and fall out of there. But, you know, got quite a bit of use out of this all month. It's my favorite bronzer. I dearly love it, but I'm putting it up for the month. And instead I'm going to bring out one that you can't buy anymore, but I love it. And I'm just going to go ahead and use it, even though I know I try not to use discontinued items anymore because I know you can't get them. But I love this by Lancome. It's their, I think it's Le Chic. Is that what it's called? La French. It's called La French Glow. Light Liberty. They sent this to me a long time ago. Not because, I mean, through Octoly. Lancome still doesn't know who I am. I've been talking to you about them for about 10 years. They still don't acknowledge me. But I got this from them through Octoly years ago. I like to go all the way across. And their bronzer, well, Lancome's just lovely, okay? But they have a bronzer, and I love that bronzer. The Star, is it the Star bronzer, I think it is. But after I tried this, I didn't like Star bronzer anymore. I was like, this, yes. And of course, this was special edition, so you can't even get it. I don't like it when they do that, when they bring out makeup just for a set time and then it's gone. I'm like, this is a winner. Bring this back. The blush that I was using all month was the Milani, and I gotta tell you, it's all right. Here's the thing. There were a lot of days that I didn't use Luminoso at all because I just went with the bronzer because the lipsticks that I have in here were clashing with it. Or in my mind they were anyway, so I wasn't using the blush. So it's going back in the drawer along with the Charlotte Tilbury. I'm bringing in my By Mario. I don't think I even used this, but maybe 2 times. And that was to show, maybe. You know. So I want to spend a little bit of time with it since I paid that money for it. One of you asked me not that long ago, was like, how come you don't use very much blush? I really don't. I'm very minimal with my blush. I know a lot of people, especially for somebody that came out of the 80s, right? You would think I would have that streak, but I don't want my blush to overtake my face, and it is. So, I'll probably, honestly, I probably won't do anything about it right now, but anyway, I'm going to bring this in as my highlight. It's the e.l.f. stuff with that messy sounding doe foot. And I'm just going to put that on the tops of my cheeks. Recently, one of my friends, I'm not sure which one it was. Actually, I think I do know, but I don't want to say that in case I'm wrong. One of my friends was telling me they're using this as a foundation. I'm like, what? I would never use this as a foundation. It's too glowy. I might use it as a primer, but for them, it works out really good as a foundation. But I like to use it for just that subtle highlight on the top. You know, the manufacturer's glow. There you go. That's what I like to do. This is the contour stick, and I was using this month, and I think I might keep it in. I was just, you know, bonging the side of my nose with it, making sure that I looked like a brown nose all month. I really like it. And I'm sorry, but I think it's still sold out. Because my reach is vast, and people were like, when they found out I loved this, they went and bought it all. No. Some other bigger YouTuber must have also said how much they love that stuff, because I noticed that you can't just go buy that now. So glad I have it. It's the Sephora Stick Contour. Very nice. Very nice. I almost bought the Fenty ones, which are probably very nice, but I was like, why? Because you love that Sephora one, and it didn't cost very much. I don't know. Maybe I'll try that some other time, you know. Maybe I'll do a whole face of Fenty sometime and do that, but I love the one from Sephora a lot. Now I'm going to give my face a quick set again with this. If you guys want a really good, affordable setting spray, I really like that one from e.l.f. All right, let's do the brows. So all month I was using this from Give Beauty. I thought I was going to be able to use it all up, especially since I wasn't using anything else. But no, it's still going. It's still going strong. They have one called Hella Point, and they have one which is a micro pencil, and they have this one here. And this has been really nice for being quick and fast and just go. This one is called Most Def. It's a blade, as you saw. Okay. And I really like this pencil. It's going back in the drawer because I really do want to spend a little bit of time with the About Face one that I tried in the About Face video. I'm also going to pull back in my Benefit Detailer to do the fronts of my brows. And then I have to tell you that we're going to bring in a new Benefit 24-Hour Brow Setter. We'll talk about what all brow products I ran out of at the end, but I ran out of what I was using, and instead of opening this, okay, I just brought in one that was open because I thought, well, I don't have that much longer to go, so I brought in this by Got to Be. I remember I reviewed this a while back. It's okay. I would rather use this stuff in my hair. Okay, I like Got to Be Freeze in my hair. Their blast spray. I mean, if you really want to freeze your hair, Got to Be's got you in the freeze. I don't care for this very much, so I'm going to put that back in the drawer because obviously it's still got a lot to go for emergencies, but we're going to open this. I'm just going to get through my brows really quick. The About Face is a blade, albeit not thin. So I have the Benefit Detailer for the front of my brows. There's a lot of people that have these blade kind of, you know, goof-proof as Benefits. But I think what I really liked about this was its color. I thought that the color was really good. And now that I have my 24-hour brow setter back, I should have put that through first. Because what I like to do with this is run it through my brows and then skate the brow product over the top of this. That way I don't get too much. I really love getting a fresh one, that the product hasn't all gommed up and dried on the brush. My YSL pen that I use to clean up, it's a concealer pen, but I use it to clean up underneath my brows. That is staying in here. It's like a staple item for me, so that's going nowhere. I'm gonna keep it. Oh, you know what? I just came across this. This is one of the eyeliners. So this is Coconut by Sephora, and I've been using it in my waterline, and I think I'm gonna go ahead and keep it in here because I do that a lot. So the 3 eyeliners then are Alkaline, Spiderwebs, and Coconut. The lipsticks I was using all month was really a liner. No, I did use the lipsticks a few times, but mostly I was using the liner, and it was my BK Beauty and Sweet Pea, which I bet was going ham on. That's all I have left of it. And I think I have one more backup of this, and then it's gone because BK Beauty is discontinuing their lipstick line, and more on that later. But what I have in here is Gracie. Nope, it's Grace, okay, which I think was my favorite. And also I'll show you Sweet Pea. It's a natural looking lip for me. And I had pulled in one of the lipsticks. We'll talk about all that in the end. But it got replaced with another one of theirs, and this one is in Gratitude. It got replaced with Gratitude. This is Gratitude, the more pink one. And I had in here MAC Soar, the pencil, which is right there. Love that for when I get made up. And then MAC Soar lipstick, which is right there. So basically what I'm telling you is I like wearing this when I do a full face of makeup, but if I'm not, if it's just no makeup or no makeup at all, I like putting on Gracie. So what I'm bringing in to take their place is actually 2 lipsticks from e.l.f. And I'm going to go ahead and keep this BK Beauty liner in here. So put that in there. And these 2 from e.l.f., these are a dupe for my favorite lipsticks that I used to buy and love, which were NARS Audacious. That one there is Dirty Talk, my favorite. And then this one is Pleased. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. I'm going to go do my hair, and then I'll be back to talk about the things that were used up or wasted. Before we get into the stuff that I used up, I forgot to show you that this is going back in the drawer. It is my beautiful Dior highlighter. It's the pink one, but it's in a different package because I have the old packaging and it's broke, so I have to keep it in this thing here. I have 4 things that I used up. One of them is a lip product, and that would be Forget the Filler by Lawless Beauty, and they sent this to me. I love the doe foot on that. It's just such a comfortable fit. It's a little bit of something something, but it's not painful. I think it would be on par for how the feeling is with Buxom full-on lip plumper. It's not mint though. I don't know what it is, but it doesn't have a mint feeling, but it does do some plumping. And I can't get what's in the very bottom out. So, you know, I've worked it as much as I'm gonna. This one here was the Vanilla Cherry one. Really, really like that stuff. So I wouldn't hesitate to say, if you like to pay a little bit more money than the drugstore, which isn't getting, I mean, drugstore's climbing up there, right? So you may as well get the high-end stuff. This is a good one. The other 3 things I used up are brow products. This here, I worked through the Too Faced Fluff and Hold Laminating Brow Wax. When you take it out, it has a spoolie that you can apply it with, and then you can leave it like that, or if you want to pull the cap off, then we've got a brush and a comb that you can further work your brows if you want to. This stuff dries down, and where you put your brow that's where it's going to stay. You can put this through your brow and then come through with a pen. It works beautifully. I like it. It's different than Benefit 24-Hour Brow Setter. The difference is if you put this on and then you try to take a pencil and come through, it will ball up and it looks nasty. So I wouldn't recommend that. The best way to use this is after your product. Most people probably do that. I don't do that with Benefit 24-Hour Brow Setter. I don't have to. What I can do instead is put it in my brow and then coast brow products over the top of it. It works beautiful that way. It works beautiful if you use it to end it. This should only be used to end your products because, like I said, it'll ball up. The only product that I haven't found that does that with it is a pen. And so if you have this in your brow and then you go, oh, well, there's a bald spot right there, you can take a pen and go through it. And that works out fine. Under the right circumstance, I could see me getting this again. I don't think it lasted as long as I thought it was going to before it started getting thick and gummy. When this was done, then I opened up out of the drawer this because I thought, well, I may as well finish that up and that will give me a better idea of what I think of the wax if I'm using Benefits right after it. Here's what I gotta say. I like this better. This is okay. It tends to gum up more than this does. For my money, I would probably go for this instead of this if I wanted a wax. And then finally, after what, about a year? This is the best pen ever. I'm just gonna say that. First of all, I love the color. Ash brown works really well for me, but this pen did such a good job and it lasted a very long time. Will I buy it again? Well, I already did. There's one in the drawer that I bought as a backup to this, not understanding how long this would last. It's inexpensive and it lasts a long time. Now we're gonna move into the things that were wasted. This is empty because it's in here. I can't put it back in here and I don't want to keep using it in this because when you take a damp sponge to come in here, all right, well, you can imagine you're baking. The powder itself is a beautiful powder. It works very well. However, if you like to use a sponge, I wouldn't recommend it. If you're the kind of person that uses a brush, let's say you're the kind of person who wants to load a brush with a powder. This is ideal for that. So we can just like put a little bit on the end and do that, okay? And then it does beautiful. Packaging means a lot to me, but if a product is super good, I don't care if the packaging is not that great, if it doesn't look luxurious. I will use the product. I'm not gonna finish this though, because this is just a mess. I don't know what they were thinking when they put a loose powder in this. I have no idea because you need a way to be able to get in there without getting a ton of product. If anyone from Revolution is out there watching, please repackage this like a normal powder because the powder itself is good. And the last thing is actually all these things here. It's my BK Beauty lipsticks. I'm so sorry to say this. Truly, you guys, I love BK Beauty. I love Lisa and I love BK Beauty. This is the second time though that I've lost my BK Beauty lipsticks because they went bad. Now the first time I thought, well, it must have been because I had them over in the lip caddy and I got rid of that caddy. Because I was like, oh, I lost all my BK Beauty lipsticks. So I got rid of the caddy, started keeping lipsticks in the drawer away from the window. So many of you told me that yours were fine. But this is the second time through for me where I lost a bunch of these. So I don't know why, but I have 6 that are okay. The 2 that are okay from the box that just left were Gratitude and Gracie, but these ones here went bad. And I noticed it because the one that got put in the basket for the month was Acceptance. So I had Acceptance in here. And here's where I need to give you the family disclaimer. Around here, I will say I smell something and no one else smells it. I do. Everywhere I go, the whole family is like, well, your nose is like a bionic nose. So know that. Maybe other people just can't smell it. I don't know what the problem is, but this one's turned. Acceptance has turned. So I went through the whole drawer then, and these all have. So I'm wasting, losing acceptance, kindness, passion, self-love, and inner beauty. All of these are fine, so I lost about half of them. Tell me below, what did you use up? Because this is something that we're doing together, and I really love to hear from you guys. What are you using up from your collection? What are you having to waste? Please go out and help yourself to a blessing by blessing somebody else today. That'll make you feel blessed inside. And Lord willing, I'll see you next time. Love you. See ya.